Welcome to another day of Ether Raids. We are taking on Danique here. I think that's right. And this is the mobility team for this season. This is our Gale Force team for this Chaos season. And I actually really love the team composition here. The only downside is that it doesn't really have anyone that can take out really beefy units, like let's say Neathauger. Once there's a Neathauger there, this team is probably going to struggle because I can't really break through, especially if there's Ather as well supporting. Sigurd won't be able to really take that down. So that's the only weakness of this team in its current configuration, although you can play around it, if it is that if I play right, I can probably play around it, but ideally I wouldn't really want to do that. Very nice catch right here. I really love that Farrier Splendent. The blue, it pops. It just pops so nice, and it's very aesthetically pleasing to look at. Really nice ults. But yeah, I think I'm gonna have to go on turn 2 here because unfortunately, or fortunately, I've had to give. Well, did I really have to? I think
I am not
well,
sure.
Tana here has the Marth ring instead of the Celica ring, which means that I have to depend on her mobility spaces moved rather than her being able to warp to get into position, which is typically okay. Usually I'm able to get up there by just warping, by just spaces moved, but this is a really boxed in team, so I gotta figure out an alternative here. And as you can see, Felix can get up there, but how the Tana team plays, or how Tana plays, is that Tana has to be either the initiator or some type of follow-up, so that she can then allow everyone else to transition. As you can see here, no one on this team has Wings of Mercy, and I absolutely love that. It means that I don't have, I can, the B slot is way more flexible now on units that you can, that you're bringing on your Gale Force teams. You don't have to worry about, oh man, I need Wham to get up there, I need Wham Echo to get up there, I need to worry about chip damage, I need to make sure that I have Fury. You don't have to think about any of that anymore. Just have Tana survive a combat or reposition, and you're pretty much good to go. I would prefer her to just survive the combat because she herself is a Gale Forcer, and with the rearm Lucina support, as you can see, this is 2 cooldowns. She's gonna get Gale Force in 1 tap. And that is just fantastic. She's basically like Thor in that sense. You can charge her own Gale Force. And I didn't actually consider that if you wait enough turns, you can just keep charging the Gale Force special with Lucina here. Just keep swapping, doing the assists, and just keep charging the Gale Force and just have it pre-charged. So that's another option that's available if I chose to do that. But no, we're just gonna, I gotta break, the reason that I didn't break the middle structure here is because there's some warping here with Catra, and I think Baby Golvig would have potentially gotten sniped, so didn't want to break it. It's fine, we're gonna be able to get up there anyway. On this turn, it's turn 3. Waiting until turn 3 so that I got my +1 movement back. I'm running the Odd Tempest seal, whichever one that's on. Yeah, definitely Odd Tempest, and that's what that is what is allowing me to move all of these spaces. And there you go, it's all open. We can do all of the shenanigans in the world now. Probably could have done this on turn 1 if I had just set up properly, but I messed up there. That's my bad. Probably could have. What I could have done was use Felix to break something to allow Tana to get in, but I didn't really plan that far ahead. But it's fine, it works out anyways. But yeah, very powerful Gale Force team, especially I think this is like my first time using Sigurd on offense, and it's probably because I'm probably gonna transition away from Sigurd off defense, because he's just been, I don't know man, it's been like, he's still very good, don't get me wrong, but I feel like I should probably give someone else a try. I don't know, but yeah, he's been on defense for Dark Season for quite some time now. I'm thinking maybe I should change it up just a little bit to make it a little bit more appealing. I don't know, I say this now, but then Sigurd might just be the only answer to multiple questions that offenses bring to light darks even. So I might end up not changing anything, but love this team. I would highly recommend that you copy it if you're having struggle this chaos season, but then maybe you don't have the units. I don't know. You really do need the units. Well, I guess they're interchangeable for just anyone that can gale force and hit hard. I guess it's interchangeable for that as well. So I would love to run something like this in regular offense, but 5, 6, 1 mythic. Maybe I could drop Baby Golvig or something. It's difficult to just put everything together with the mythic rotation. So, but yeah, very, very good team. Got all the pots, actually. We're pretty much done here. 1 turn clear, and I still had actions to spare. Didn't get a chance to talk about the CYL results, but I'm going to play one more match. GG's. Alright, here's our second match, and we're taking on a Moe, and this is yet another team that we brought, or that I've brought for this Chaos season. Probably the first time that I've also brought Lin to an offense match, and this is a defense that's pretty much boxed off, and unfortunately they don't have a silica ring unit in the back, so this is just a shooting gallery, and what better way to do that than with Emblem Lin. Yeah, we're just gonna take shots, and I don't know, just let's see what happens. I gotta get the pots as well, but yeah, we're just gonna take some shots here. Man, Claude has really, I wonder if there's a way to make him work. Wind Tribe Claude, the only lethality, as crazy as it sounds, doesn't do enough damage, which is just, it's mind-boggling when you think about that, but that's where we are in the meta. Wind Tribe Claude, he hits for zeros quite often these days into most meta tanks. He hits for 0, and that's just, you don't want that. That's not great. So I don't know if there's a way to, you would really just need more damage and maybe set a support, but then I don't think that's enough, to be honest. Yeah. That's just where the game is, man. That's really just where the game is. It's crazy that lethality that he can proc on the first hit isn't enough. It's really crazy. But anyways, CYL interim results. It's looking like Boulder is gonna win. Yeah, so far I've just put all my votes on Yunaka. That's definitely the island that I want to die on. But it's looking like Boulder is gonna win, which, thinking about it, like from
this is challenging,
like game development standpoint, either win or come second. I don't see her not being in the top 2. She is incredibly popular, kind of like the Golvig effect, but I want to say Golvig was better because something about but then Boulder, I think, like, just from a game development standpoint, it's a positive thing for melee flyers. For her, if she wins, I think it's a positive thing for melee flyers, who I've mentioned before, there's only 2 of them in the game, and both of them are called Hearthfelger. Only 2 of them. Everyone else is like, there's no point in using the other melee flyers, they're just not as good. And I don't know what they will do to make up for the ground, or the difference in levels between Hearthfelger and all the other melee flyers in the game. I don't think you can do that with a rearmed weapon. It's just too far of a gap. Really, the problem is damage output and tankiness. And although that Wyvern Rift thing is pretty cute, it's just not as much as Hearthfelger is able to do. It's a big gap, man. It's just a massive gap. And I think if Boulder were to win, weird voice crack there. If Boulder were to win, we'd probably get more flying units that are in that vein, that are able to perform similarly, as well. Ow! I bit my tongue. As well as skills that will accompany those melee flyers, because that's one of the main things that they're missing as well. If we could get some better B skills, because again, Wyvern Rift just is not it, but then also C skills, A skills, flyers really just need a lot of help to be competitive. The majority of the game modes that we play are all like infantry and cav focused, because even though flyers have such a huge advantage when it comes to mobility, people often don't consider them just because of the offensive drawback or the lack of offensive capability. And often that's to your detriment because they are, a lot of the times, they're just dying in one hit, either from a ranged cav, a melee cav, an infantry unit. They just don't survive anything unless they're Her Thulger. So it's not a great place to be as a flyer. Unless you're ranged, then you have, you know, more potential. Which is also another thing, because that would mean that we'd be getting Boulder and Gulvig this year. And that's a lot of potential for flying skills to be introduced. And I'd be really happy to see, you know, how that develops throughout the year if they actually focus on that. Because of course, if you're going to put Boulder in, there has to be some type of flyer skill that accompanies her. So that's initially kind of like how Alphonse brought that B skill and all of his stuff to the game. I'm thinking they have to do something like that with Boulder. So let's see how that pans out. I'm also really interested to see what they do with Brave Golvig's Refine, because she isn't missing anything aside from just damage potential. She's still very good. She just doesn't hit hard enough, which is crazy to say, but yeah, really interested to see what they do with her Refine and Remix. Well, no, she's not getting a Remix, just a Refine, but yeah, let's see what they do with that. Hopefully it's not as underwhelming as they did with Byleth, Brave Byleth, because they did her dirty. But I can't even remember. Robin, I'm not too interested in what they'll do with him. Even though the Warping is pretty cool, but I'm not interested in what they'll do with him. I just can't even remember who else is on that banner, to be honest. But yeah, Boulder is looking like she'll take the cake. Don't know who will finish second. Maybe someone from Engage, Ivy, Yunaka. You know, that's where my eggs are. And I know it's pretty competitive on the female side, I want to say. And then on the male side, it's just way open. I'm seeing a lot of push for Mortis, which is really interesting. Let's see how that pans out. And also Ectonir, both beast units. For Mortis is pretty easy. You know, obviously he'll be some type of save unit, but I don't know what they would do with Ectonir. That's something that'll be interesting as well. So I mean, let's see how those things pan out. It's going to be an interesting year for CYL, and yeah, man, I'm excited for the hype. Can't wait to see what the final results are going to be. GG's. See you in the next one.